Hi there, this is the Victats podcast. This is a podcast about tatting, not skin and ink kind of tatting, but the needle, shuttle, thread, and tatting. I also talk about cross stitch and all that stuff. But right now, what I'm trying to do is kind of like a vlogmas, where I'm trying to hit, do a post more frequently. In an ideal world, a vlogmas is every day, but that's not going to happen. So I thought that I would try to hit as many days as I could. So today what we're going to do is I have been making, I showed it in my recent vlog, but I'm not really sure that you could really see it, is this pentacle. Okay, it's a, star pentacle. Okay, now the fun thing about this is that it is weaved. And it's a really simple pattern. It takes, okay, in all honesty, I count for more yardage than I really need, but I bet it takes about 2 yards on the shuttle and 2 yards on the ball. And don't worry if you're a needle tatter, I'm going to show you a different version hopefully tomorrow, because I'm going to go a couple variations of this, okay? Yep, and then what I do when I'm done, and I haven't done it yet with any of them, but I actually finally got some best press again. So this is Mary Ellen's best press. And so what I do with this is I don't even pin them. I generally don't pin them, depends. But I lay them out on paper toweling, and then I spray them with the best press. And what that does, the reason I like it is because it's a soft sizing. It's a sizing, so it's a flexible stiffness versus being a super hard stiffness. And then I think when I'm not sure if I'm going to put a little ring on the top, or if I'm going to have a little thing on here so they can hang it. I don't know. I haven't decided that part yet. Anyways, so these are super easy. So what you are going to do is that you need thread and shuttle, okay? If you are a needle tatter, you can still do the lock chains. It's just, more of a pain in the butt. So you may or may not, it depends on how much you want to do it. But as a shuttle tatter, or at least for me, the lock chains are super easy. Okay. And then what you're going to do is the rings are all 4 picot 4, okay? And the lock stitches are all 10, okay? So you'll start with, okay, let's all take a moment to, wonder at how amazing it is that Tammy Montgomery can do this every week on the online tatting class, because this setup is harder than you think. I think she's probably got a good setup, and I don't, okay. Okay, so here we are, first ring, okay, and then the other thing I do is, technically you don't really have to reverse your work with lock chains, but I found when I'm doing this, the chain lays flatter because I'm going to weave them. So, and in case you're wondering why the camera shakes every once in a while, it's because it's on a very jerry-rigged thing. I like to do, so a lock stitch is 1 stitch flipped and 1 stitch unflipped. So I actually like to do the unflipped stitch first and the flip stitch second, okay? And so that's how I do it. Okay, unflip stitch first, flip stitch second, okay? Unflip, and this is the part that makes it really cumbersome for a needle tatter. So now if you are a needle tatter, you are not going to do it this way. Well, one, you could do it one of 2 ways. You could finger tat and just take it off the, take it off the needle for that portion. You could just finger tat it. That's what I'm saying. I don't think you have to take, maybe, yeah, you have to take it off. Do you have to take it off the needle? I don't know. You wouldn't use the needle. Let me put it that way. Or what you do is you would do your, if you wanted to do it in the same order that, I think it probably would work better and easier for you to do it, the first stitch unflipped and the second stitch flipped. And the reason is because that what you're going to do is you're going to do your first half stitch, pull it off the needle, and then do a closing stitch. First half stitch, pull it off the needle, and do a closing stitch. However, that's a bit cumbersome. Sorry, I'm just checking because now I was talking. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The worst that happens is if you get a couple extra stitches in there is just going to make for a little bit of a bulkier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, again, the reason I like to do it this way where I flip is because then my the stitches all end up in the same spot, kind of like the rings. They all end up down. That's all. That's the main reason. And so it makes it, when you go to fold, it makes things a little bit easier. So here's my 1, whoop, oh my gosh, 2, 3. You're not being, Lucky, you are fine. My dog's like, what are you doing? And you're ignoring me. Dogs. Yep, see? Now, he's been for a walk before I started this, and he's been fed several times. But, okay, so now here's my next ring. Remember, the rings are 4, picot 4. You don't have to have the picot. I just really like it. And it would be super cute to have beads on there. Okay, so now I'm going to, through the magic of doing things ahead of time, I'm going to, that's not the right one, pull out a completely different chain. Okay, and so here it is. After you do this, you're going to do 5 rings and 5 chains, and it will look somewhat like this. Okay, okay, and you know what? It doesn't matter if the rings are all facing the same way or not. It's okay. But here we go. Here's this. So now the tricky part is going to be the fold. Okay, so this is where it gets to be a little tricky. So remember, when you do I should have brought a pen and a paper. When you do a star, when you draw a star, you do it like you go down, you go up, you go across, you go over, and you go back to the beginning, right? So this is basically what we're doing. Down, over, across, back to the beginning, okay? So that's what we're gonna do here. So here's my first V, okay? And I'm going to go across. Now, if my last one was under, the next one's gotta be over, so then I'm gonna come over. And the biggest, trickiest part is that you gotta get enough rings in. And yes, if you can hear my dog, he is fine. He's just upset because he's not getting all the attention. Okay, so under, and then up and over, and across. Do you want up on the chair, boo-boo? Okay, hold on. This is gonna be, if I don't. Okay, so over and across. Give me 1 second. This is real life, people. Okay, here. Oh, what's the matter, boo-boo? No, you are fine. You are fine. You're fine, boo-boo. Here, you go up on the chair. Here, you go up on the chair. Come on, right here. Go on the chair. Here, right here. Okay, you're okay. You're okay. Okay, that may or may not solve the problem. Okay. All right, so let me do this again because we got so rudely interrupted by my DOG. Okay, where are we now? Okay. Okay, so remember, let's get my nice straight line. Oh, stop it, Lulu. Okay, so here's my nice straight line, okay? So we are going to make our V. We are going to come over, okay? And because we came over, the next one's got to go under. So we're going to go under. And then because we just went under, the next one's got to be over. Over, okay, here. Oh, now it's getting all tangled. Next one's got to be under, up, over, and across. Now at this point, you're like, oh my God, I have a misshapen star. But no, you don't. It'll be fine. Okay, so now we are going to do something called an alligator join. Okay. And I'm going to churn this over. Okay. And an alligator join is just where you put the 2 threads, one on one side of something and on the other side. So in this case, we're going to alligator join around a chain. So right at the top here, we're kind of aiming for, oh, boo-boo, you're okay. If you've made a mistake and if your chain looks a little wonky, sometimes it's because you didn't get it, you know, one part flipped or something like that. But don't worry, it's going to be fine. Okay. Don't undo it because God knows that's painful. If you're in the middle of doing it, you notice that that's one thing, but at this point, we're not going back. Okay. Always forward. Okay. So here's my, okay. Okay, here is my alligator join, and the way you join it is you just make your neck stitch around, okay? And we're gonna snug these guys up to the top here. It's okay, it will work out, okay? And we're gonna go 10 stitches. Now, as you can see, there's lots of opportunity to add beads and everything here. If you're wondering about my nails, it's because I had them done a couple weeks ago, and I actually don't get my nails done often. I had it done for my birthday, and so I don't have nail polish remover in my house. The reason I don't get my nails done often is because it actually makes my nails very brittle, which they normally are not. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. Now at this point, don't panic, because sometimes this star is going to look a little wonky. Okay. Now, if you wanted to, you can just take that star and you can just best press the crap out of it and kind of pin it down, and you can just make a lock stitch star. That would be cute too. Okay, so now remember, I'm doing a locked or an alligator join. One thread's going to go in front, one's going to go in back. So I actually, what I do is I pass the thread in front like this, fold over the ring, start the stitch, and then carry on. My dog is fine. If you can hear him whine, I don't know if you can hear him. He is fine. He is not being neglected or ignored or anything. He has gone for a walk. 6, 7, 8, no, right, okay, sorry, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, okay, 10, okay? All right, now, you're thinking, Vicky, yours looked really smooth as you came around. Yeah. So this will form out, okay? That nice round ring will come. Okay, so as you're doing it, it may not look so round. You might be going, oh shit, I screwed it up, but it will be fine. So again, I just alligatored it around. Now, generally, I don't play with tension when I'm doing these kinds of things, but on this one, you can. It's going to be fine. Okay, so it's coming around. I do think I got some of the stitches longer than others, but it's going to be fine. Yep. Alligator again. Now, okay, now, what I found works best for me at the end, I just alligated again. Sorry, counting. Okay, is what I actually do on the last one, okay, is I actually alligator the last one too. Okay, and at this time, this is when I decide, hey, I'm gonna, fiddle a bit with the tension, make sure that it's nothing crazy. The fun thing about this is a really good exercise of tension, okay? Now, say you were a needle tatter, what I would do is, don't close your stitch, except for this part here, okay? And when I close off and I go around, I do the alligator, again, I'm gonna do 1 stitch flipped and 1 stitch unflipped, okay? So I did the first one unflipped, just to lock in the tension. Okay. All right, so there we go. Oops. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, and there we are. And as we kind of play with this, yeah, see, you can tell I probably had too many stitches in this one right across here, but whatever, it works out. Okay, now, if I were a needle tatter and I was doing this, then what I would actually do is I would do my 10, pull it off the needle, don't close the chain, carry your ball thread behind, put your needle right here so it's snugged up, and start the next chain, okay? But I wouldn't close it, and then that way you have an enduring core thread that you can pull the tension onto. However, since I have not needle tatted this particular design, I could be horribly wrong. So, you know, I would say to fiddle with it. And, you know, as a needle tatter, you've already suffered enough with these lock stitches. I will, however, tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow I'll show you a version, tomorrow or sometime later in the week, I'll show you a version just with a slightly different version with regular chains, okay? Alrighty, I hope that this works out for you. Remember, the rings are 4, picot 4, the lock chains are 10, the chains here in between the rings are 10, tensionette, best press, okay? You can glue it if you want, it's whatever, but I happen to like best press, okay? Alrighty, you have a lovely day. I wish you happy tatting, and hopefully you weren't able to hear my dog crying because he's not getting all the attention. All right, cheers.